Hello everybody, what I'm going to show you in this video today is not my fish, well I'm showing you the fish, but I'm going to show you my recent bore up kit project. I wanted to show you what happened along the way, and I just wanted to kind of show you the really rundown documented process in case anybody is wondering what it takes to go through boring up your engine from what I'm using as a Honda 50, and I'm going to bore it up to a 72cc. I'm also going to replace a cylinder head, and but I'm going to retain the original carburetor in this build for probably about a 30-40% power increase. So if you care to watch next 20 minutes or so, we'll just briefly document and show you what the process is like. And the reason I'm doing this project is because my engine has been knocking, and that's why I'm taking it apart and may as well give it some more power. The problem with the bike is that it has a connecting rod knock right now. I don't know really how that happened. It's time to take it apart, and I'm going to be redoing everything. I'm going to be installing a new crankshaft. I'm going to be installing I'm going to leave the gearbox bearings. They seem good right now. The bike, by the way, is a 50cc Honda Giorcub. Think of Giorno, and which is this scooter, which looks very similar. That's a 2-stroke. Mine's a 4-stroke, and it's a manual transmission. That's semi-automatic, just like the Cub does have. I just wanted to show you, here is the bike. So I'm going to start removing the engine now. It's about 8:35 in the morning, and I'm not going to be doing continuous footage, just snapshots here and there. Alright, the seat is off. Doing the luggage wrap so I can get the body off right now. Okay, here we go, engine is out. I don't know exactly what time it is, so it's 8:46. Okay, according to that clock over there, so however long that is since I started. There you go, there's the engine. With these engines, is you can just bring it upstairs into your bathroom and wash it down. Okay, the engine has been scrubbed down. This will make it a lot easier to work with, so that the big stuff doesn't get on your hands. So the carburetor is going to come apart anyway, so I wasn't worried about getting it wet, because I'm going to do a thorough cleaning out. One thing I like to do is when I'm taking, you see, I'm going to pull the clutch cover off, put it in this big old basin like this, so that oil drips down into there. And then I'm going to tip the engine over into the bucket, so that the oil drips into here. You can see how this will get a bit messy if you're trying to do this on a table. When you get to the point of most of the oil is gone. Okay, you see how I've laid the engine down on this side. Got some oil coming out of it still. I'm going to let this drip for quite a while. Okay, I took the intake manifold apart, the carburetor apart. That's because I had washed it. I was too lazy to remove it and do the cleaning by hand by toothbrush, and so I'm rejetting this. It brings it up an extra about 20 cc's, and it doesn't actually flow very well for this upgrade for my big bore kit. It doesn't flow very well at high RPM, so but anyway, the whole point is that I did get water in the carburetor, so I've blasted it out with cleaner, some water-soluble alcohol. Here's one of my secrets to, not really a secret, to keeping parts organized. Okay, there we go, we got our 34. It's got a bit of grime on it, so I'm going to brush that. Do not use a wire brush whatsoever. Absolutely no. When you're cleaning off jets, you might think to yourself, well, as long as it looks clean, that's okay. But really, because these holes are so microscopically, I'm going to say tuned, they're microscopic in terms of their differences between other jets. You really want to get these very clean, in terms of all the holes, clean out from this side, clean out from this side, and clean the side course. Clean out your jets really well, and clean out where the jets go to. They go in here. A bit of junk there, so yeah, clean. I can't stress that enough. I dropped my old float needle. I spent a very long time looking for it. I can't find it, so I had to grab another one. That's just how it goes. I'm just going to say that ants took it away. So yeah, that's just how it goes with small parts. And also the float bowls, especially with these they get cracked, not because of impact, but just because of age. So this one's relatively new. But like I say, if you got a bike getting on in years, 20, 30 years, it's always a good idea to get yourself a better float. Yeah, just a side note, I really do recommend working on carburetors in an open area because of the fumes, but it's 42 degrees now. It's 10 in the morning, and I can't do it. I'm too hot. So I'll do it in enclosed spaces, but then at the same time, I get a bit loopy if I am working with petrol. Okay, time to take the engine apart. I'm just going to be doing this on kind of a fast motion because I've done a whole bunch of videos on how to take apart an engine, how to put it back together, so I just want you to see it in fast motion, not real time, fast motion, kind of one take, so here we go. Okay, so a quick note. I thought what I was getting was either big end knock or a small end, but something to do with the conrod. And well, what do you know? I've got no problems whatsoever. I was doing I'm checking for play, and I'm giving it good, putting it under pressure, trying to get it to do any kind of tapping, any kind of knocking. Nope, can't get any problems. And so after a quick look, I discovered the piston skirt's actually quite severely worn. Let's see if we can zoom in on this. I wasn't paying attention until I decided to look at, because I was taking this part rather quickly, and I see that the piston skirt is quite severely worn, and I was wondering why that was, because this is a quite new piston. You can see, if you take a look at the rings, you've got almost no blow-by anywhere. I mean, it's very, very clean, almost all the way around. And so I couldn't figure it out. I wondered why it would have gone bad so quickly. It's only maybe done about 3,000 miles, and then I looked at the bore, and it has it's polished itself out like this. Now I cannot see hardly any hone marks. I mean, you see how shiny that is, and it might look pretty, but that's really bad because there's no oil cushion that can remain in there and lubricate the skirt of the piston. And so what happened was that, and I thought, well, did I get a really bad bore? But this is an original Honda bore, as you can see. And then what I realized was that I looked at the 50 piston I was going to put in this, and I looked, and it was also almost completely polished flat, and shiny. And so I realized what happened was that the machinist apparently thinks that's a good thing. That is really pretty, and he probably spends a bit of time to get it really shiny and polished. But what's happening is that there's no crosshatches, and there's no place to get the oil cushion to lubricate a piston, and next thing you know is we're ending up with skirts looking like this after 3,000 miles, and it's completely no good, and the bore is no good. It's got to get a new piston, got to get all that done because the bloody machinists didn't know what they're doing. This is the best part about Southeast Asia. There's parts everywhere. I just went to the market about 10 minutes away. I've just got myself a new barrel, and this will be, and you can see it's actually got the cross hatches. They are very, very visible over there. Yeah, it's not a very clean cast barrel, obviously. It doesn't look very pretty on the outside. I don't care. I just care that it is made of the correct material, and that the piston is and that the piston is matched to this, and that it's got cross hatches. That's all I care about. Okay, new barrel and piston on, as you can see. Sorry I didn't take footage of that. I had just gotten really tired, and I wasn't thinking about filming at all. So yeah, but going to start putting it together now. Okay, there she is, all done. Bigger head, big valve head, 12 volt C70 head, C70 bore, piston. Had to upgrade the oil pump as well. Updated the jets, even though this is a 15mm carburetor, but I'm not interested in buying a cheap Chinese carburetor. Those are rubbish. So I kept the original carburetor, the 15mm, but I'll still put the C70 jets in there. Hopefully they will be okay. You don't have to update the clutch though. The original 50, the original clutch will hold it just fine. Okay, there's a nice shiny engine ready to go in here. Okay, engine is in. So let's give it. Actually, I forgot to record the test, the first startup. So I'll spoil it for you. It already started. I'll just show you. Quite get the jetting right. It's stalling when it gets even moderately warm, so time to swap out the jets. I mean, this is really one of the best parts about the bike, you know. It's just I got a bad I don't have the right pilot jet, and maybe a 1 pound piece, and you just swap it in there, and you know, the carburetor's off. There's no depressurizing, there's no, you know, fuel injection, remapping, and none of that nonsense. Just stick a new jet in there. Well, I came in here because of the construction, so sorry for the boring view of my aircon remote. When you just drop it down to idle after it gets warm, and then it just instantly quits on you. And at first I was thinking, I thought, man, this must be a jetting related issue. I thought it was over fueling. It gets warm and then it dies. And I didn't consider the fact that I guess supposedly my ignition coil went bad over while the bike was sitting. It's a guess. Okay, well, the engine is back on the table. I'm having a problem with, it seems like the ignition. I tried a new coil, I tried all kinds of, I tried what I could, HT lead cap plug coil. It didn't improve the spark situation at all. Alright, so new stator in, trigger in, had to add in a new neutral switch wire, off. Right, there we go. Let's put this off to the side. It's looking suspiciously clean, but I guess that's a good thing, possibly. Okay, let this be a lesson to everybody. Don't ever take anything for granted. I knew the size of gasket I needed, and for some reason I was assuming the gasket that I had bought, because I bought this metal head gasket for better cooling on the cylinder head. Just imagine it, you know, when you touch your fingers to metal, it's very different than if you touch them to plastic, because the metal carries away heat much faster. But anyway, I just, for some reason, I had assumed the head gasket was going to be the same 1.2mm that my graphite head gasket was, and this one was not. It's actually 0.88mm, so it's now got 5. and hopefully this is enough clearance so that my piston clears the cylinder head. Oh, and the misfiring, yeah, what that ended up being was the CDI. For some reason the CDI just decided to take a dump on me, literally as I put the new engine in. This video obviously didn't go very smoothly. This happened over the space of about 3 days rather than an afternoon, but you know, bore up kits and modifications are never simple. Okay, day 5 working on this thing, or is it day 4? I'm not really sure. So the pilot jet's running a little bit rich, and so when it gets really warm it tends to cut out on me or sputter. Anyway, and also the head gasket is leaking because I had to lengthen the head gasket because the piston was pissing ahead. Or make it fatter, and then because I did that, the oil O-rings didn't fit anymore because they were thick enough, and so it started to get a bit of an oil leak at the head. I'm going to tear the head apart and seal that up, and then just fix the pilot and go from there. And just showing you the cylinder head, and there's my bigger bore. Hello. That's what I really love about these. About 20-30 minutes to get it to this point if you're really taking the time. Okay, here she is. She is running beautifully like a little sewing machine. And there we go. And she sits very, very well at idle. I guess I can say I'm quite happy with this, even though it took me way longer than I expected just to do a simple bore kit. Main reason being is because I was trying to retain I had to retain this intake manifold because it had the little, you can see it has the vacuum line in it because it had the, because it's got the fuel tap with vacuum actuated. So I didn't want to drill out the intake in case I messed it up and I had to go back. And anyway, so I had to retain the original carburetor. You can see it's a 15. Anyway, the pilot jet's a 38. The needle jet is also just from a C70, the main needle jet, and then the main jet itself is a 78, in case anybody's wondering. So I had to put a 1mm base gasket in here, and I had to do a 1.5mm head gasket. Because I put in a bigger head gasket, the O-rings didn't seal against the head, and so I had to, let's see if you can see it. I had to put some non-hardening sealer in there. That is Yamaha 3 or 4, whatever the compound is. That's the same stuff they use as the center gasket for bikes that don't have a center gasket. This is the same stuff. Yeah, dry as a bone, so that's good. You know, you can see that it's working. Nice and happy. Doesn't have as much power as I'd hoped, even though it's still getting run in. I've got about 20-30 minutes on this. I wanted to ride it just to make sure that this setup was definitely good. So I've got a few good runs on it, so I'm not worried about glazing the cylinder right now. But anyway, I'm going to put the body back on this thing and sign out for now. I'm tired of this. And there we go, she's all done and washed off. So, yeah, that's it. What do you say? Yeah, the project took longer than I expected, but I hope this has been helpful to everybody that has cared to watch. Thanks till next time. Bye.